The Falcons have decided to bench struggling quarterback Kirk Cousins and will start rookie Penix Jr. Stephen A., I just asked you that question yesterday. Why were they not doing that for the final 3 games of the season? In a statement released by the team, head coach Raheem Morris said in part that it was a football decision and the team is fully focused on preparing for their upcoming game against the New York Giants. As a reminder, Atlanta has signed Cousins this offseason to a 4-year, $180 million contract. That includes a whopping $100 million guaranteed. The deal guarantees this season and next, with $10 million guaranteed in 2026, none in the final year. All right, Mad Dog, I want to start with you. Do you feel like it's a mistake at this point to bench Cousins?
Well, they're playing the Giants this week, so I guess they figure it's almost like a preseason game. So if you're going to play Penix, this is the week to do it. Giants are so bad. They are still in the pennant race in the NFC South, but I am surprised. Cousins, I know he wasn't great the other day. Was he 11 of 15 for 100 yards,
right,
a touchdown pass? And he's been bad. And Stevie, has been saying bad things, and rightfully so now, about Cousins for a while. I'm surprised. I thought they came off a win. They have the Giants. They're at home. They still got a chance. Schedule's not impossible.
Easy.
I thought they would ride it. Yeah, they play at Washington, then Carolina. I thought they'd ride it out. So, Jeff, I have to admit, I'm pretty surprised here. I would have stuck with Cousins myself.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And not because of Cousins' performance, because obviously it's a football decision, so he hasn't played well enough. But the situation they're in with a home field playoff game really it's reachable, right? I mean, you're chasing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who you've beaten twice. So you tie this record or tie their record. You had a home playoff game, and now you're going to go to a rookie. And to your point, I understand the Giants thing, but it's a risky situation unless you are fully going to Penix. And as much as Kirk Cousins has struggled, the first 9 games of the season, he played really well. So you're hoping you draw that part of the veteran. I'm either thinking something, either he's injured and they know more than we do, or Penix is lighting it up in practice and giving them a ton of confidence to drop this kid in.
Well, my challenge with you, Jeff Saturday, would be this. Why can't it be both? Why can't it be Penix lighting it up in practice and Cousins sucks? How about the combination of the two? Because I'm looking over the last 5 games. Your record is 1-4. It's, 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions.
Yes.
9 interceptions
For
in
sure.
5 games. Excuse me, $100 million guaranteed, $180 million contract. Over Cousins' career, first of all, his agent is Mike McCartney, right?
Yeah.
I think that's his name. We need to know that man. We need to get a picture of that man. We need to put him on national television and give him props as being one of the great agents in the business. For Kirk Cousins, this man has career earnings of $294 million and 1 playoff victory.
I don't know. I'd like to talk to your agent.
I mean,
I don't know.
John Rose and Mark Shapiro.
So I think they're doing it.
But the point is this. $294 million, 1 playoff victory. See, I win.
But
you understand? Say that man does not. And that's what we got to look at
But
right
if
here.
he's injured, that's a different deal.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
though. The contract is why I'm as shocked as I am. If he doesn't play for you, you paid this guy 90 or guaranteed $100 million.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's, to me,
But here's
over.
Here's what I'm thinking about too. And again, football's different than basketball. So in other words, the cap constraints that come with it, I'm not too familiar with. I need to be educated about that in terms of if they would trade him or what have you. But in today's market, $100 million for a quarterback, you got cats like Baker Mayfield making $33 million a year. You've got Daniel Jones making $40 million a year. You've got Dak Prescott making $60 million. Burrow and Trevor Lawrence and those guys signed for $55 million. So when I'm thinking about Kirk Cousins and $100 million over 4 years, which averages out to about $25 million, I'm saying, okay, excuse me, in today's quarterback market, I'm not going to call it bargain basement, but I'm certainly not going to look at it as being that exorbitant. In the end, what it comes down to is this. Is this the right move? I'm not so sure because, again, it's a rookie. But you got a virtual bye week, a preseason game going up against the New York Giants because it's tantamount to that.
We keep saying that. You better be careful.
I'm just saying but here's what I'm saying. If Penix goes out there and he looks bad against the New York Giants, right? Then you could go back to Cousins. You see what I'm saying? Because you're like, wait, he's really not ready. Let's make sure we bring him on. If he does show you something against the New York Giants, then you got a chance to look at something going ahead. You're still battling in the NFC South, and you can roll the dice. That's why I think that even though I was saying, no, I don't know if you make this move, I don't really have a problem with it because the Giants could be the proper litmus test to give you an indication.
It is a perfect matchup to see what you have in Penix. I'll give you that. But what you're talking about with the money, it is unbelievable if they make this move already.
And remember, the last 5 games, Cousins played. I saw the Minnesota game. That wasn't his fault. He played pretty well in that game. They fumbled a kickoff return. The game was 21-21 fourth quarter.
Right.
And the Atlanta game, you know that in Atlanta, that wasn't that bad. He was terrible against Denver. He was terrible against the Chargers.
That's right.
And he was terrible the other day in a win.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But he's also leading the league in turnovers, Doggy, with 18.
Well,
No doubt.
He's got the 9 picks. In the last
here's 16 on the season, 2 lost fumbles.
Here's the problem with you watch, I think, from Raheem Morris. I think it was a situation where he felt like he was painted into a corner because Cousins looks dejected and he looks confused, which for a quarterback who's played as long as he has, if you notice when he throws the ball, it's almost like he's hesitant to where the ball is going to go, like he wants a string attached to it. So as he throws it, I need to pull that back. And the last play of the game, or the offensive play of the game for the Falcons,
would have gotten a first down and won again.
And he almost throws an interception to a defensive tackle who's dropping out. That's not a veteran mistake, right? Those are things that young players get caught at. Very rarely does that happen. That was my concern. Is some of the red zone interceptions that he throws in the end zone, they look like they're literally to the defense. And so I think Raheem Morris just goes, he's lost his confidence. He's lost his fastball. He's been injured. He's 30-plus years, or 36 years old or whatever it is, coming off an Achilles, or 35 coming off Achilles. Maybe maybe we need to give him some more time.
Which was a risk in itself.
A huge risk.
That's one way to look at it. Here's what I applaud about Raheem Morris. Yes, you're there. You're the new coach. They draft a quarterback after they sign Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
What I appreciate is that he had been an interim coach before.
Right.
And so it's one of those situations where if he had a quarterback, he might have had a head coaching job instead of praying he'd ultimately get another opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not waiting around now.
Yeah.
You know, he's reminding you, I got a job too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit back and watch this dude
That's what I mean.
nosedive.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my chances. If I'm going to go down this time, I'm going to go down swinging, making the best decision that I can possibly make for my football team. I can applaud that.
Well, so we'll see what Michael Penix has. All right, real quick now.
And everybody moaned and groaned about them drafting Penix. Turns out, why did they draft Penix after they brought Cousins in? That turned out to be a pretty good move, as it turns out. They can play him. And the other thing about Atlanta, keep in mind, they have 2 avenues to get in the playoffs.
Tell me.
Because if Washington loses to Philadelphia this week and the Falcons beat the Giants, and then the Falcons go to Washington and win the game, they get the 7th seed because they'll be the same record and they have the tiebreaker.
Right.
So if Tampa loses a game, or if Washington loses to Philly and they run the table,
they got a chance.
They make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is it Cousins or Rodgers?
Rodgers, and it's not even close.
Okay.
As bad as we think Rodgers has played, he'll finish the season with over 4,000 yards. He'll finish the season with a dramatically better interception to touchdown ratio than Kirk Cousins, and he's further along, it looks like, in his recovery from his Achilles. So if you're thinking about, honestly, I believe he'll be back with the Jets.
I think so,
If I'm being honest, I think whoever comes into that situation understands what they have in him. Is he the same Aaron Rodgers he was? He would know he's not. But can you still win with an established quarterback in that vein? I think you can. I think he is a starter. The Cousins thing, for me, it could be his end unless he because who's going to trade for that contract? That's the biggest problem for him, is the contract. So if Atlanta doesn't eat it or cut him.
Yeah.
I think there are enough bad quarterbacks in the National Football League for you to take a chance on Kirk Cousins under this contract, looking at it and saying, okay, he's having a bad run right now. He normally hasn't been this bad.
I mean,
usually performs well in the regular season, and then the postseason comes, he might nosedive. But he usually hasn't been this bad in the regular season. So I do believe there's plenty of teams that will look at Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying over Rodgers. I definitely think the answer to the question, definitely the answer to this question is Rodgers in terms of being a starter in 2025. But it's not like I think Kirk Cousins' career is over. It's bad right now, but I do think that you'll have a few teams that will look at him because of their quarterback situations and saying,
that price tag's hefty, though.
And I do think, Jeff, back to his point, I definitely think if I was running the Jets, I'm bringing Rodgers back. Who are they going to get, whether draft or on the free market, that is going to give them a better chance to win than Aaron Rodgers? And listen, he was awful in the middle of the year. Didn't play up to his rep. I'd be the first to admit.
Yeah.
Watch the last 2 or 3 games.
He's played good.
He was great. Now, I know Jacksonville stinks, and I got a break because I had it at 3.5, and he scored the touchdown at the end. Thank God for that.
Here you go.
It always comes down to that.
It always comes down to that. You're a degenerate.
Yeah, I am.
That's what you are.
I'm the first to admit it. I'm terrible. But the bottom line is he played well against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And he played well against Miami.
Yeah.
And he wasn't bad against Seattle. They scored tons of points.
Well,
But Stephen A., they already made all these moves, too. They brought his guys in,
Right.
firing coaches.
But are they going to be there? Are they going to be there past this year?
One more
See,
year. That's what I'm saying. Just go for it one more year.
That's what I would do.
You already did it.
I don't mind.
And then after that, worry about moving
I don't
on.
have a problem with that, but then somebody has to explain to me why you guys nosedived and looked so awful. Was it Woody Johnson? Was it firing Robert Saleh?
Absolutely.
I mean, that appears to be the case.
100%.
Defense, overrated.
But again, the defense was supposed to be so much better.
But you let go of the guy who ran the defense.
And then the guy that's ran in the defense came
Yeah.
in.
He's trying to be the head
And now you made all these moves. Die with the ship.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that could be. So somebody's got to convince Woody Johnson that's the problem.
Yeah.
But then you got to get a real head coach up in there.
No doubt.
Because you can't. Aaron Rodgers has shown you, he can play. He can still play. But you can't depend on him to be the leader
No.
of
I
your
agree.
franchise.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely
can't
right.
But you
He
got
can't carry
2
it.
good receivers. You have 2 good backs.
Yeah.
They improve their offensive line. That offense can succeed in that division. They'll be just fine. I would not move on.
Great. Be fair. He was
Oh,
great.
last week?
I would have liked him run into the end zone instead of falling down at the 1-yard line.
No
But
doubt.
he was-
That was a smart move.
But he got the run. I got the pre-saw run. That was
Degenerate.
a great win for the Jets. Very good win. I'll tell you right now, if I was Woody, and I believe it happened, if Belichick's people called up Tannenbaum
yeah.
and said, you know what, want to bury the hatchet?
Yeah.
I'm interested. I would have said, you know what, he's Bill Belichick. That's 25 years ago. I would have brought Belichick.
Imagine him. Imagine him
And they
with
didn't do
Rodgers.
it. The Jets blew him
Yeah.
off.
Well, that's Woody Johnson being petty.
100% right.
You're 100% right. That'd be unbelievable.
If,
and the
and
defense,
Belichick
he
called
could
him. You know, I'm right.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, don't
He's a
give me
Tar
that.
Heel. He's a Tar Heel. That's what we know.
That's what you know.
That's what we know.
That is the right
Look at
answer.
that
That is
smirk
the
on
right
your
answer.
face.
It's the right thing for you to reveal, but it is the right answer by Jeff Saturday.
Sorry.
All right,
Absolutely.
let's keep it pushing.
He should-
Staying in
he
the
should say,
AFC,
stick to
the
that damn
Chiefs
answer.
are.